These are my starting points for the primary definitions of love. There's a primary or primal love, and then you have your secondary love, which is, it really is like the micro and the macro, and it really is just kind of like the two as I'm seeing it now. You got the primary and the secondary just being the separation. So the definition, the complexities of the definition of the secondary love. The complexities of the definition of the secondary love. The relationships. So the relationships of how we experience this realm. An expansion of that would be the relationship or lack thereof that the mainstream media or Western ideologies has with nature. It's basically less than non-existent, it's parasitic. Another good example of that would be like being less than poor. An example of being less than poor is when you already don't have anything, and then you psychologically allow yourself or have conditioned yourself to not receive anything. So this is how we get, another way of how we get cut off from what we call the universe and all this other stuff, is because externally, our lights have been shut off by light shutter offers. We believe their stories. So we internally, subconsciously, and all of the above turn our lights off. And then it expresses itself in our reality as such, because we don't even know that we've had lights. We've been kept in the dark for so long with an intention. So this is why I was saying the intention of the Western reality. You have the primary functional love that really has no emotional attachments to it. It's like, you know, a mother is going to do whatever they're going to do for their child. And taking that even further, other people in the family can inhabit that sort of love, that motherly type of primal love, to where they will do the same thing. It will be in without question type of love, to where the experience doesn't even matter anymore. It's like, you know, this is where the system gets into the individual and takes that primal love and installs it into the system itself and says, we have that type of love for you. It's unquestionable. And it's through evolution that we have attained this love for you. And here's how it's expressed: capitalism, democracy, Western world, evolution, technology, food stamps, dams, you know, water, you know, all the Western stuff. And, you know, and the people are proud of it. They defend it. They're like, yeah, you're on a computer now, you're doing this. It's the repetition of protecting the slave master mentality. Like I said, they are vested in this. The relationship between primary and secondary love. At this time, New Age love and all that shit ain't even in here yet. That's in some old, this is what love, you know, tastes like type of TV dinner, microwave TV dinner type of love. So you have the primary love that has been taken over by the system and redefined. It's been redefined by the system because we gave that love to the system. So when it redefined that love, it destroyed the other love, which is the awareness of the rest of the loves that are out there. One of the main reasons why there's a primary love is to allow the secondary love to exist. You can see that with the mother and the child. So what is the secondary love? The secondary love is all of the experiential love that exists. That includes the love of the original love and the experience itself, which all gets removed when the westernized definition of love becomes the primary definition of love, which is devoid of the secondary love and has a bastardized version of the primary love. When that love gets dramatized, when any of the love gets dramatized, then that's when the overall experiential love just starts to dissipate. Secondary love has been redefined, reprogrammed along with primary love and shrunk into this one thing called love. Just this one commercial Happy Meal box called love. That's what it is, a Happy Meal called love. And we forgot the origin stories of love. So we have a romanticized definition of love and a romanticized definition of one side of love. At best, a 50% of each 50% of love, a 50% of primary and a 50% of secondary love. And they don't really exist because it's just been balled into one love. That's only existing if you've gone into questioning this whole story in the first place. So when you glorify the secondary love, what you do is you create the illusory universe. The responsibility still remains, which is the further defining of this realm and this relationship and these responsibilities that go into redefining and redefining and analyzing the redefinitions of love that have been conditioned, and the whole destroying the happy mealing of love that has destroyed our relationship with nature, each other. Like I said, when I'm not talking about love in like on its own. I'm talking about the definition, every definition that you affiliate with love. You can see the complexities get less complex when you go from motherly love to love of a stranger or something like that. So you can just imagine the differences between the primary love and the secondary love. We're talking about the irrefutable relationship, loving relationship that the indigenous people as a whole have and had and have with nature and the soul-filled relationships that this Western world is largely ignorant to in many different ways. Untapped potential becomes a weight on the experience. From my experience, it becomes like very similar to an individual going deeper into their egoic versions of themselves. That is a fake or a cheap self-love, a made-up version of love that is based upon another world and another individual, actually, because you have the individual who interacts like the straw man of the individual, like straw man love. That could be a good example or a good title for the modern love. Straw man love is what? The scarecrow love, it's fear. A lot of the love that we call love today is a love out of fear, like the fear that comes within your primal, like your survival relationships. Artificial love, once it generates itself in a non-artificial reality, it has to generate a lot of things around it to protect itself from being revealed. Like a parasite, like I said, like a cancer, once it's revealed for what it is, it can be removed. The cells around it will start to heal themselves, and then it can just, the cancer will be ineffective. It will have nothing else to feed off of. You removed its food source. Having to do something with that weight or that energy. And what systems and people do when they are surrounded by those illusory energies is they have to create other versions of themselves, so other straw men. So a straw man now has to, it's kind of like a lie, like you have to go, like a straw man has to create another straw man to protect its original straw man. This is what happens when you start redefining love into oblivion, to where love is used for tissue paper or something, soda pop. That's that kind of way down the line. It's not even love anymore. It's just a candy-coated version of something that used to be called love. The subconscious obesity of society. This realm that is eating subconscious Happy Meals every single day and calling it love. I'm loving it. Love, okay, from Happy Meals to married people and babies and stuff like that. Happy Meals. It's the love that you have with beyond this experience that is incomprehensible to the people who can't even interpret what that love is, who are on that on single digit ass love. That single digit love is cheap and sold like a salesman would guarantee something, like guarantee some brake pads. It comes with 100% money back guarantee, but you're using money, you know, for something that's cashless. Worst case scenario, primary love can be overtaken by secondary love, just as it's possible to have an illusion overtake reality. And it's very easy to see too. Western society is some pimp magic. Just go back to sleep, baby. We got this. We got this. We're gonna set freedom around the world. We got this. We're gonna save the whole world. Pimps of the USA. Defeating terrorism left and right. So you have individuals who are having relationships and then creating openings for other souls to come through these relationships, not even consciously connected to the natural love, like the primary love. It's not even there. It's kind of like people that think that the system is not the problem. The system can still exist. It just needs to be fixed. When in fact, the system feeds off of the problems. So people who are unaware of that are unaware of the primary love that other people have been existing as. This is a frequency that really does differentiate you from individuals from different realms. And what the New Age does is it says that since there's only a single thing called love and it's everything, then you can blend the two. Like you can have an unconscious individual, whatever the hell that is, be with the most conscious individual, and then everything would be okay. That's cheap love. That's a cheap, so, but that's, as long as you have that middle ground, that middle step, it allows for the justification of other nonsense. And nonsense, I mean by lack of definitions, which is just nonsense. It's just made up theories and stuff like that. Pimp game taking over the world. Primary love destroyed and replaced with a bastardized version of the secondary love, which is an allusion to the umpteenth degree, to the separation, so on and so forth. A realm within a realm. So this is when a new love can be introduced. A love that is a now new primary love. So since primary and secondary love was removed by the pimp game, you have to install a new version of love. Pimps install the pimp game love in there, and then you have a new primary love. And then that takes over. And then since there is no true definition of love, every other usage of that terminology called love doesn't really matter. You can just put it on anything. Like sprinkle that shit on everything. like it is today. So that's how love was destroyed by Western minds. But since the non-Western minds are still alive and well, love really wasn't scathed at all. It's just fine. And it's time to go beyond that. After love comes responsibility. Because a deeper love means a deeper responsibility to love, which is why secondary is separate from primary, because you have a deeper responsibility in the primary love, which is what our people were expressing in this reality, which is why they had to be stomped out by those who seek to deify themselves and create another version of love that is only centered on them. This is what the mainstream media is. This is what Western society is.